Welcome to Dark Horizon Creations. I'm Mike. This time we're taking a look at the G.I. Joe classified series Snake Eyes from the live action film Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. Now, if you hadn't already, please follow, like, and subscribe to my social media accounts on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Don't forget to hit that bell icon so you get a notification of when I post new content. Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. Really cool movie. Really like this action figure. I'll go ahead and tell you guys I'm going to be doing a discussion video in the next couple of days in regards to this film and provide you my thoughts on it. And I'll go ahead and tell you, I was opposed to this movie from day one, but as I began to see more footage, particularly from behind the scenes and hearing what some of the actors had to say, as well as seeing footage on the screen, it changed my mind about the movie. And seeing this action figure up close and in hand, I have to say, wow, it really is a cool iteration of Snake Eyes. I love what they've done with his armor. I think that is the selling point for this figure, you know, and the modernized design of the helmet. So you can see that the movie action figures have a different coloration to the box. It's more black. You still have the artwork in the lower right hand panel, movie logo in the lower left hand panel. The Arashikage symbol is on the insert. You had the figure on the right. You've got two butterfly knives, and then on the side, of course, you've got Morning Light and an interchangeable head sculpt of Mr. Henry Golding. How cool is that? And I mean, it looks identical to him. I watched his reveal video for Hasbro. I mean, he was like a little kid when he saw that thing. I mean, that's just really cool. But I love the design of Snake Eyes. I do. I really like this. I wish there had been more screen time like this, but nonetheless, it's still a really cool figure. So let's take a look at the side panel. Same icons on the side that show you the skills and things like that. Artwork on this side, I like that. That's really cool, you know. And then the movie logo on the back. See, this is a really cool looking action figure. I really like the overall design of this figure. I think they did a phenomenal job with it. Up close, you guys can see the head sculpt. I like the shape and the contour of the helmet. It looks very aerodynamic. I like the body armor and the design of that. The Arashikage symbol on his left shoulder, forearm armor, thigh armor on the sides, armor knee pads, shin armor. His tabby boots look armored. Morning Light attached to the strap on his back. And he seems very stable, you know, on his own. Of course, he doesn't have any other kit on. Height-wise, this figure is right at 6 inches tall. For those of you across the pond, 15 centimeters. I want to bring out the Wave 1 Snake Eyes for comparison so you guys can take a look at both of these side by side, if I can get him to stand up. He's extremely top heavy with that rucksack on, and that's one of the things about the figure that would make a display stand nice. So that's what they look like side by side, and I have to say I still like the Wave 1 figure better because of the design of the armor integrated into the figure. You know, he's got shoulder armor, bicep armor, forearm armor, torso armor here, knee pads, and he's wearing tabby boots also. But the Wave 1 figure is more reminiscent of the original Snake Eyes from G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero. I know it went through several iterations. And if you guys don't know, originally when they produced the 3 3/4 inch Snake Eyes figure, the whole reason the figure was painted black was to save money. You know, they based the figure off of the SAS troopers in England in their assault kit, and they just made the figure black for that reason, to save money on paint apps. No one had any idea that he was going to become as popular as he did. And, you know, that's just a neat little fact from, you know, the original G.I. Joe action figures. But you can see they look really good together. You know, they're roughly the same height. I do think the Wave 1 figure is slightly taller. But I like them both. You know, I think they you know, both have great qualities about them. Nice action figures. Let's take a look at Articulation. Mostly full range of motion on his head. You know, it pivots up and down, side to side. It's on a ball joint. Forward and lateral movement there at the shoulder. And he has a ball joint. It's sort of limited by the body armor on the front. Bicep swivel. Double jointed elbow. Wrist swivel. And let's see if it pivots. His wrist does not, yeah, it pivots. Okay. It's just hinged in a different direction. Torso hinge there, waist swivel, forward and lateral movement at the thigh, thigh rotation, double jointed knee, and lower leg does not swivel. His foot pivots, and it's on a ball joint as well. So let's put him back here for just a moment. Let's take a look at the accessories. We've got these two butterfly knives that have no sheath or anything on his armor to hold them. And here's the head sculpt, Henry Golding. Really cool. I like that. We'll pop that on in just a minute. Let's take a look at Morning Light. There's the sheath. And it fell off, as I thought it might. Really nice. Just one problem with this sword. This is a katana, not a ninjato. I know some of you are asking, what am I talking about? In ancient Japanese history, the samurai were an honorable race of warriors. They protected Japan's nobility. Their swords were extremely expensive. They were the katana. Their average length was around 36 to 38 inches. It took months to forge a katana. They were priceless works of art, and samurai were forbidden to leave them behind or lose them. The ninja, on the other hand, had more crude weapons. Their sword, the ninjato, had a straight blade, where a katana was slightly curved. Ninjato were made out of more impure metals and did not take as long to forge. As a matter of fact, many of them were just hand beaten and forged, as you would imagine a blacksmith in England forging a sword. They were disguised often as logs, like in a bundle of wood, you know, so there was no handguard on many of their swords. And the samurai created an entire martial arts system around the use of the katana, whereas the ninja mostly used their swords for jabs and stabbing. And they had no qualms about leaving a sword. You know, if it would save their life, you know, if it was going to compromise their location or something like that, they'd throw it down or hide it somewhere and run off and leave it. And they might come back and get it, and they might not. And the sword that Snake Eyes is given, not just in Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins, but if you go back to G.I. Joe Retaliation, the sword that he's presented by the Blind Master in the skyscraper, up in the garden after the trial of Jinx, that is not a traditional ninjato. That is a katana that he's giving, as Morning Light is. And it is fascinating to see him with this, because that is totally opposite. You know, the ninja did not regard their sword in the same way that the samurai did. And if you recall in G.I. Joe Retaliation, Blind Master tells Snake Eyes that the blade of justice is made of Arashikage steel that is unbreakable. Ninja just did not go to those lengths. Now, if that's something specific to the Arashikage clan, then that would be extremely different than what we know from ancient Japanese culture and history. But I wanted to share that with you guys in case you don't know anything about ancient Japanese history, because the ninja and the samurai were worlds apart in their culture and their mindset, you know, and their fighting style. And many ninja were former samurai, so they brought their skills, you know, to their clans, you know, and they utilized that to their advantage, because that aided them in teaching new generation of ninja how to fight with samurai. You know, samurai lived by Bushido, a code of honor. Ninja did not. They would use any methods necessary to carry out their mission. So I wanted to point that out to you guys. And just very quickly, I will pop the head sculpt off, and we'll switch this around. Here we go, so you guys can see that. And we will give him Morning Light, if I can get it into his hand. Yeah, there we go. One thing I'll say about the Classified Series figures, they are extremely posable. The articulation was extremely thought out and well executed in the construction of these figures. You know, and his waist will swivel like so, and you can put these figures in any sort of pose that you want. So guys, there you have the G.I. Joe Classified Series Snake Eyes from Snake Eyes G.I. Joe Origins. Hope you guys have enjoyed the review. Stay tuned, there's more to come.